Hey everybody, thanks for dropping by. This is Ian with Rail City, and today we're going to be taking a look at the nicest guitar that I own, and I probably ever will own by a pretty wide margin. This is one of a kind. That's right, there's only one of these in the world. 1987 custom shop, Jackson Dinky. As we can see here on the neck plate, this was made in San Dimas. Somebody took the number off of the neck plate, so this was probably stolen at some point. But Scott Grove of Groovy Music Lessons actually reviewed this guitar as well in 2012. I think it had one owner since him because the guy I bought it off of on eBay wasn't Scott Grove. I know that because this was in drop C tuning when I got it. Scott Grove doesn't play in drop C. But yeah, at some point this must have been stolen from somebody, and it's a pretty cool guitar. If you're gonna stoop that low and steal a guitar, this is probably the one to steal. So speaking of the guy who owned this before me, this guitar has underwent some modifications since it was reviewed by Scott Grove in 2012. When Scott Grove did his really good video on it, I really like Scott Grove's stuff. He does a good walkthrough of this guitar. As he mentions, this is one of the few Jackson Dinkies you'll find out there with 3 single coil pickups. But when he reviewed it, it had 3 stock made in San Dimas single coils by Jackson, which are really nice. I actually have one of those pickups that wasn't installed in the guitar when I got it and still isn't installed. But yeah, the guy who had it, I think after Scott Grove, was a huge metalhead, and he put a hot rail in the bridge position. And then I've actually replaced the middle and the neck pickups because I didn't like them. But this guy I bought it from on eBay, he put bare knuckle slow milk pickups in the neck and the middle. Really, really thin and glassy sounding, too much so for my taste. I think I went to 2 band practices or something, and I was trying to get a sound out of the guitar that, you know, was fat enough to come out over the drums and the bass and some of the louder parts. And the pickups, they frankly weren't capable of it. So I sold them on eBay for about $100, and for a grand total of $25, I got from China this weird mystery Jackson middle pickup. Yeah, the guy from China was like, 80s Jackson, high output. And, you know, sometimes stuff you get from China is fake. But this was all rusty on the underside, so I just figured it was legit. I paid like $10 for it, and it sounds way better. As you'll see later in the video when I'm actually playing this guitar, it sounds way better than the, you know, super UK-made expensive slow milk pickup that was in this before. And then for the neck pickup, this is actually, I got this on eBay for like $20. This is a neck pickup from a Charvel Model 4. And the combination of these 3 pickups with this super versatile switch system, I mean, this is just an on-off for each pickup. So you can have your standard strap positions like, you know, bridge and middle and neck. You can do all that stuff. But you can also turn all 3 pickups on, which gives you a super clear, crisp single coil sound if you're into that. Or you can do this and it gives you more of like a Telecaster sound punching out the middle pickup. Or you could have, you know, one pickup on and turn it on and off, as you'll see me do a couple times later in the video, to create kind of like a kill switch effect. So unfortunately for you guys out there who like Jackson San Dimas guitars a lot, the original neck and middle pickup of this guitar were lost in the sands of time. The guy I bought it from claimed they were non-functional, but I doubt that was the case. I have a feeling they just didn't do what he was trying to do with this guitar. And I do have the bridge pickup, which I haven't installed, but he told me the output on it was waning and it was kind of dying. Once again, I doubt that's the case, but of all the mods that he did to this guitar, which is frankly kind of desecration, taking, you know, 30-year-old pickups out and replacing it with some stock stuff. You can get some humdrum common, you know, stuff you can get on Amazon. I do like the hot rail. The hot rail's nice. If you need something really hot and squealy, this will definitely do it for you. Just kind of going over some of the specs of this guitar. This is equipped with the original, made in Germany, Floyd Rose, indestructible, impossible to detune. There's no substitute for these babies. And then this has a maple neck, and this is the nicest neck I've played, not just quality-wise, but just the way that, I guess, people's hands have worn this over the course of 30 years. It's really just, Yeah, it's like a really expensive wine or something. The way it's aged and stuff, it's really amazing. Not the sort of thing you can just buy. You know, you have to have an older guitar that's kind of got a balance of being plain and played and worn in, but not so much so that it's like damaged. Yeah, this is an amazing neck to play. Maple neck, and then it's got an ebony fretboard. I guess ebony is kind of expensive because the trees are going extinct supposedly. And then of course it's got the cool striped body. This guitar rips, as you'll see in just a minute when I play it. The action is super, super low. The guy in the eBay ad said that this was the lowest action on any guitar he'd ever played. You know, people like to hype up stuff on eBay, but I really believe it doesn't get much lower than this. The only problem I have with this guitar, and it is a pretty big problem actually, and if you're ever looking at buying any Jackson San Dimas stuff, which is a pretty big investment, you might want to ask about this. The neck is cut in such a way that if you bend the E string up just a little bit, it actually slips off the neck. Maybe somebody thought that would give them a cool sound or something. I have a feeling it's just an accident, flaw, frankly. But yeah, sometimes when you're playing stuff on the E string, if you slip this up just a little bit, it's going off the neck, which just kills whatever note you're playing. I'm going to noodle around some so we can see how this guitar sounds. If you're into single coils, I think you'll like what you hear a lot. I'm going to be using for amp-wise, I'm going to be using a Mesa Express 550. It's got ruby tubes in it, and it's being mic'd with a thin body condenser mic, and then the distortion is a Big Muff Pi. Hope you enjoyed going through this super cool guitar with me. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comments section and I'll get back to you right quick. And yeah, check out my other videos and have a great day.